Thank you so much for being here. This is a recording of the Passion Reset workshop. Normally, the workshops are very interactive and the participants are sharing lots of personal details. So for everyone who couldn't attend, I recorded this video that mimics the entire workshop and allows you to stop, pause, reflect. But there are no confidential information of other participants that might share some juicy details. So first, I want to share my realizations. I believe that in every woman, there are four characters. Four characters from the sex of the city live inside of us. First of all, we have Charlotte, the motherly part, warm, caring, charismatic. She loves household. The family is really important to her. Then we have Carrie, the romantic one, the creative one, the searcher of real love. Then we have Samantha, and Samantha is the crazy one, the sex one, the lover, the goddess. And then we have a business side. And business side is really important because this is the part that allowed us to build amazing careers, be so successful, be so prolific, but it's not the part that helps us in our personal life. And what I see, a lot of women are building personal relationship from their business side. And you are here listening to this recording because I believe that you might have a very successful career or a beautiful family, but your relationship is not as fulfilling. And you are a little bit exhausted by juggling the family and career and feel disconnected from your lover self, from your goddess, from your Samantha. It almost feels there is no time for your own desires and for your own pleasures. Your relationship missing the spark, and I'll talk a lot why the spark fades and why it's absolutely normal to lose it, but there are tools to reconnect with that spark. And you feel like there is missing the quality time and effort, and the connection becomes a little bit transactional. And you might have lots of generic advice that didn't work. In general, I believe that nowadays you can find so many conflicting advice. Schedule intimacy, don't schedule intimacy, organize date nights, make it spontaneous. And it's quite difficult for people to realize that you are unique, your relationship is unique, and some rituals, some pieces of advice, some tips will work for you and others don't. And it's absolutely normal. And my first realization of why I'm doing intimacy coaching and why I would love other people to see what is happening in relationships, because the relationships are failing. The current approach to relationships is a failed experiment. Our lives are so different from our parents, but we follow the same scripts that our parents had. We have absolutely no positive role models. And this is the question I ask all couples who come to me. How many couples around you have the kind of relationship you truly want? And normally I hear none, or maybe there is one couple. And this is important in business world or in career, and I'm coming from career coaching. There are so many role models you can go, learn, find, explore, see how other people did it. But here we rely on what I call fairy tale script. There is an unrealistic script that is painted by movies and by porn, how relationship work, that is not true. Also, our lives become so busy that relationship at some point becomes deprioritized. We are almost repeating the mistakes of our parents, but even doing it worse because we have less sex than our parents. And there is this myth that all couples come to me saying, we want it 3 times a week. I'm like, it's not happening. In the UK, couples after 35 years old, women after 35, have intimacy twice a month. Before that is 3 times a month. So 3 times a week is absolutely unrealistic expectation. Plus, is it about quantity or is it about quality of connection? What does fulfilling sex feel? How does it feel? How does it smell? It shouldn't be about quantity. And desire and passion decline rapidly, predominantly for women. It's interesting to see that women are the ones who experience less desire And it's interesting to think why. On one hand, sex is less satisfying for women. And on the other hand, women need more emotional intimacy to feel physical connection and to want physical intimacy. So it's definitely something to think that the world has changed, the relationship should change too. And what I practice, what is important for me, is the concept of intentional intimacy. You are unique, your relationship should be unique. There is no there is no framework there is no to-do list, there is nothing an intimacy guru can tell you these things you should do and it will work, because you are unique. And I want to share my personal story, how I came to the world of intimacy, because I came from a business world. So I was a chief marketing officer before, working for corporates and startups, did an executive MBA from a London business school with a distinction. So I was a real Miranda, real businesswoman, very cold decision making. And surprise, surprise, my relationship was not working. I couldn't connect with a man. And I thought man is the problem. But at one point, after quite large sample, I thought, Victoria, maybe you are the problem. And this guided me to realizing that I'm not living from my erotic self. I live from my business self. I connect to men on a very mind-to-mind connection rather than erotic energy connection. And I started nurturing my erotic self. I ditched the saying, work hard. And even it's not about working smart, it's about working softly, slowing down, dancing, enjoying, savoring my feminine energy, engaging in sensual experiences. And what I can tell you, it helped me massively build a beautiful relationship. But another thought came to me is like, how can I sustain that fulfilling intimacy? Because even after 6-9 months, I started seeing that the passion is not there. So I got quite interested in this topic of like why the passion is gone and how to keep it alive. And it guided me on the whole journey of, first of all, launching my own business. I have Foreplay Couples Chocolate, that is a sensory experience for couples to reconnect. My whole idea was that when you're in a long-term relationship and the passion is gone and the conversations are awkward, there are no products on the market that you can give to a partner saying, shall we? Let's reconnect. I want that reconnection. And Foreplay Couples Chocolate was a beautiful product for that. And when I started the product, I also did sex coach certification and realized that lots of women have the same problem as I had. People started coming to me asking how I'm building a relationship, how I combine business life with romantic life, and how I switch between different personalities. For me, it's really important to be able to be business self and to drive, but also to be able to be feminine self and to flow. And after a while, I also launched Foreplay Academy, and you are here on the webinar from Foreplay Academy. That is a place for workshops, events, and programs and coaching, all linked to intimacy and the concept of intentional intimacy. My approach is quite unique because I'm coming from having a fulfilling career, and I'm coming from executive coaching and business and marketing training, where I had hundreds of coaching clients. And I also am a vivid biohacker. I love biohacking and self-optimization and how biohacking treats change. And for me, this is something I also do in my coaching. Change should be stackable habits, rituals that are easy to implement in life. It's not about big transformation, it's step-by-step stacking of habits. I do lots of workshops for other brands, for members clubs. And I think my non-standard approach to intimacy also got me quite a lot of coverage, and recently even a reality TV show that I hope you will see soon. And what drives me is help couples cultivate intentional intimacy. Intimacy your way that works for you. The standard generic advice of how to build relationship is not working. So you need to reimagine, rethink, and align it to what you like and how you want it. Intimacy your way, focused on pleasure. Because a lot of people say satisfaction, pleasure, contentment, joy, you define it. But you are with this person because you want to have more joy together than you can on your own. And the most important for me that you are an evolving human being. Your erotic growth is part of your development and your growth. So it's normal for us to experiment with new practical habits and new ritual, new things to build intimacy. And because intimacy is such a vulnerable topic, it can be difficult for couples to go there on their own. That's why I would like to think of myself as your personal trainer for your intimate life, helping and guiding couple on reconnecting with each other, reconnecting with the erotic self, redefining the pleasure and joy, what kind of pleasure you want to receive and give, and also thinking about your erotic journey as a growth journey. So number one mistake high-achieving women make is not connecting with their erotic self. We tend to live our life from Miranda, from our business self, from our go mode, from planning, organizing, doing, from action, from control, from being in the head. When in fact, the relationship can be much more joyful if you are in Samantha mode, when you're erotic, when you're in your lover mode, when you flow, when you receive, appreciate, and feel. The erotic self talks in the language of desires and pleasures. It let go and surrenders, and it's about being in the body. And sometimes some gurus just say, do these 3 things. You can do these 3 things, but if you do them from your business self, it will feel transactional. It will feel like one more action on your to-do list. It won't connect emotionally to your partner. So a simple practice that I would like to suggest for you is now spending 5 minutes with me, connecting with your erotic self, connecting with goddess, with lover inside of you, and seeing how that relationship, how your thoughts, how your attitudes, how your mindset changes when you do it from that erotic self rather than you're doing it from your business self. Find a comfortable seat on a chair or cushion with your feet flat on the ground and your spine upright but relaxed. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Let your hands rest gently on your thighs. Take a few deep breaths, allowing the air to flow deeply into your stomach and release slowly. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. With each exhale, feel yourself settling into your body and settling in the present moment. Now, let's start with a small scan of the body. Starting at the top of your head, bring your attention gently to each part of your body. Begin with your scalp, noticing any tingling, warmth, or coolness. Imagine a gentle wave of energy moving down, like soft fingertips caressing your skin. As you move to your face, relax your jaw. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel the softness of your lips. Imagine your face glowing with sensual energy, as if kissed by the sun. Breathe deeply and sense any subtle sensations of pleasure and aliveness. Let your awareness drift to your neck and shoulders. Relax them. Visualize tension melting away, replaced by a warm, comforting glow. Imagine your shoulders being lightly massaged, inviting a sense of ease and openness. Feel your breath move down into your chest. Breathe in, breathe out. Move your attention to your belly and pelvis. Breathe deeply into this space, noticing any sensations of heat, pulsing, or tension. Visualize your pelvic area as the center of your erotic power, a place where creativity, pleasure, and vitality reside. Allow your breath to stroke this area gently, waking it up with love and care. As you scan down your legs to your feet, imagine your erotic energy flowing downward, grounding you to the earth. With each breath, feel yourself more alive, connected, and in tune with your body. Sit in stillness for a moment. Now, from the center of yourself, visualize your erotic self standing in front of you. It may appear as a ball of energy, a color, an animal, or an element. Your erotic self might even look like you in a specific gown. Whatever form it takes, let it be. What does my erotic self look like? How do they move? How do they feel? Do they have a message for you? Do they have a desire to share with you? Invite this part of yourself to merge with you, knowing it's a natural, powerful, and integral part of your being. As you breathe, silently affirm to yourself, I embrace my erotic self with love and curiosity. I'm worthy of pleasure, connection, and love. My erotic self is a source of power, joy, and vitality. Thank yourself for being open to pleasure, a sense of exploration, and joy. When you're ready, and only when you're ready, open your eyes. Now pause for a second this recording and journal what you have seen. Did you get the message from your erotic self? How did it feel being in the presence of your erotic self? I hope you managed to connect and got some beautiful messages from your erotic self. I also wanted to share some of the stories of my clients, because quite often when I work with women, reconnection with the goddess inside them feels like the most important part. And Anna put it beautifully that for her, initially, it was all about being stuck in her head and unable to connect fully to her partner. And after we reconnected to the goddess inside her, it was much easier to be in the body, to receive pleasure, and also to build fulfilling relationship and intimacy with the partner. So I always say that passion starts with erotic embodiment. Everything is easy when it comes from erotic self rather than the mind. The second pillar and the second thing couples and women are coming to me is about emotional connection. And it's interesting to see that a lot of men, they want physical connection, they want sex, because after sex, emotional connection flows. It's almost like for men that we're not allowed to express emotions, where society says to men, you have to be strong and not emotional. A way to emotionally connect with a woman is via physical connection, when for women it's vice versa. They need to feel emotionally connected first to want physical intimacy and to feel safe to explore physical intimacy. For me, a simple formula about to remember how to build emotional connection is affection. All the beautiful gestures, touch, cuddles that you had at the beginning that created affection. Attention, being there for the partner when they talk to you, being present, active listening, not being on the phone. Attention is such a big factor, particularly because we have this small device that can bring us so much dopamine, so much excitement. Mobile phone is the killer of attention. Appreciation. Interestingly enough, April is the month of couples appreciation. And I'll be sending around some challenges linked to appreciation, but how much we appreciated our partner with compliments, appreciation, gratefulness, with beautiful words, with beautiful desires, with replaying some of the moments we liked. And now conversation becomes more about kids, logistics, chores, things that you didn't do. It just becomes too mundane. Appreciation is missing. And the sense of adventure. It's interesting that for people, for our brains, adventure, novelty, and dopamine is so important. And the more adventure we have outside the bedroom, the more adventure we are open to have inside the bedroom. Our brain doesn't know, by the way, the difference between desire, pleasure, and adventure, sexual and non-sexual. Anything new is exciting for our brain. Pause this recording for a second and think what you had at the beginning that you don't have now. Is it that affection is missing? Is it adventure? And find a simple way, one thing you can do differently to reconnect to your partner and create this emotional connection. And if you are interested, below the image, below the video, I will post a link to the blog post with the Couples Appreciation Month and the 10-day appreciation challenge that we are launching, because I find that appreciation is an easy way to build connection. And particularly if you have a lot of criticism, contempt, resentment that built up, the opposite to this is appreciation, being grateful, focusing the brain on the positives rather than negative. And as you might know, biologically, our brain looks at the danger, at risk. So we're always looking for negatives. Rewiring the brain to look for positives is essential. So now you have the second pillar. We have erotic embodiment. We have emotional connection. Let's look at the next pillar, that is pleasure. We desire what brings us pleasure. And that is normal and natural. Even if you think about your evening or day, when you have a chance, you will prioritize things that are more pleasurable. So pleasure is the measure. And pleasure is the measure of any physical connection. A lot of people are focused on orgasm that creates a lot of pressure. And the pressure is the enemy of pleasure. There is pleasure, it's also responsibility. A lot of women are saying, here's my man, and I want him to deliver pleasure to me. When in fact, there are a lot of things that we as women can do to allow pleasure. And one of these things, it's as simple as deciding that the pleasure is your responsibility and allowing more pleasure in your body. And a simple technique I want to share with you, it's called orgasm waving. And it looks as simple, but I would like you to try it and let me know how it worked for you. Is when you are feeling that you're at the beginning of your orgasm, see it as a wave that is coming, fluctuating, going and coming. And when you feel it, just say to yourself, I want to feel more. I want more pleasure. I allow myself more pleasure. And see how your body will react to that mindset. A lot of women are limiting the pleasure that they can receive It's either coming from the childhood or it's coming from mimicking the pleasure that man is receiving, when female pleasure is absolutely multi-orgasmic with very long, wavy orgasms. I promised to talk about honeymoon and new relationship energy and what is happening with people at the beginning. At the beginning of relationship, we have a lot of spontaneous desire. We have a lot of dopamine. And that dopamine creates this craziness, this lust. And when reality phase hits, we have more oxytocin, more bonding, more safety, knowing. And a lot of people are coming to me saying, wow, it's gone. The passion is gone. I'm like, it's normal. It's absolutely natural. You can't be on that dopamine all the time. But if you want, I have some secrets for you how to create dopamine. And those secrets are linked in science and all about fantasy. Our brain doesn't know the difference between doing and thinking. Even thinking about scenarios and anticipating pleasure increases dopamine. Pause this video and think about 3 things, fantasies, scenarios that you find sexy. And just see how the arousal inside of you is building up. The level 2 after thinking is talking about fantasy. There is nothing sexier than talking about your fantasies to your partner. And you can try tonight saying, I just thought about that. No, it's even not doing, it's just talking. The level 3 is playing and teasing. Admitting to your partner, imagining that this fantasy will happen. Having this mental play, mental stimulation. And level 4 is experiencing novelty. Both sexual and non-sexual will reignite dopamine. Let me talk a little bit about mental play, because I find that mental play is the one thing that is underutilized in couples, and some people just find it not important. But sex talk, dirty talk, talking about fantasy, imagining the fantasy happening is incredibly powerful. And let me talk about Jasmine, a client of mine. Her partner really wanted threesome. He wasn't pushy about it, but he was discussing about free and talking about threesome and telling her that this is something I would like to try. Caveat here, we are not meant to meet all our partner's needs and satisfy all fantasies. That is not about it. If you want, you can. But what I advise people to just think, how can you tease your partner with the fantasy? How can you tell them, I had a wild dream of us, or I saw a woman in supermarket and she was so hot and I thought, I can imagine us having threesome together. So playing with the partner is incredibly, incredibly powerful. Just even during sex, just whispering, can you imagine if we had one more woman with us now, what would you do? Play with your partner, create that story. So now you have the whole playbook of what you need to have that passion back. Erotic embodiment, emotional connection, and refocusing your relationship on pleasure, mental, emotional, physical pleasure, and experimenting and trying new things. I would like to check if you loved what this talk is about, what this workshop is about. I also have a gift for what I call my tribe. If you're excited what I shared about, if you would like to work on your relationship and it's a priority for you, I would like to offer you 60-minute intentional intimacy session. It's normally worth £400, but it's completely free, and I'll put a link below. And in this session, I would like to explore, what does passionate relationship mean to you? What are 2 free steps that you can take in the next 30 days that will bring you closer to your passionate relationship? And these steps are intimacy habits and ritual. It should be easy, simple, fit into your life. It shouldn't be complex. And if we connect, I also run the Passion Reset programs for women, that are a beautiful community of women working together to reset passion, reignite connection to erotic self. If it's something will be a fit, I will invite you to join. Thank you so much. I will also leave below the video my email. If you have any questions, feel free to email. And thank you so much for spending this virtual time with me. I appreciate it greatly.